Today, we are putting forward our manifesto, our promise. What we've done is we've shown that we can get better, that we can build more, and we can do it for you, the citizens. The citizens gathered here today, the activists, the public reps, those of you who are next door because there were too many people for this hall, but more importantly, those of you that are online watching this on social media platforms, for every single one of you across this province. That's why this blue team gets up in the morning. That's why we go to work in the morning. We go to work in the morning to make a difference for you. And what has happened after 5 years? The Western Cape has shown that it works. So when it comes to jobs, and you've heard some of the statistics that's been mentioned by other speakers here today, but this province has the lowest unemployment rate by far. Die laagste werkloosheidssyfer in ons land by ver. 10% is die verskil tussen nasionaal en die gemiddelde nasionale syfer en ons provinsiale syfer. Ons sit nou by net bo 20% en as die volgende syfers uitkom, jy sal sien, ons is besig om afdraand te gaan met die werkloosheidssyfer. Terwyl in die res van die land, dit is net opdraand. Dit raak erger. Our unemployment rate just above 20%, the average unemployment rate in South Africa, 32%. And getting better here. Do you know that when you come to this province, you have a better chance of getting a job here than anywhere else in South Africa? When you or when you come to this province or when you live in this province, you have a better chance of starting a business and making it successful than any other space in South Africa. When you invest in a business, when you invest in this province, you have a better chance of your investment succeeding than anywhere else in South Africa. And that number, daai nommer, wat vir my so uitstaan, wat somtyds ek kan nie eens glo myself nie. Jy kan met die span praat by my kantoor. Ek het eers daai syfer gesien, ek gesê ek glo dit nie. Gaan weer terug, gaan kyk weer, is dit die regte syfer? And it's come back time and time again. The number that I cannot believe is that in this province is responsible for 78.9% of all jobs in our country in the last 5 years. Is dit moontlik? Ja. Hoekom? Want die Weskaap werk en hoekom? Want die kiesers het besluit om dit blou te maak hier in hierdie provinsie. Dan praat ons oor veiligheid, safety. En jy het gesien op die video, jy het gehoor van ons sprekers. Ons het die veiligheidsplan in plek gesit in die begin tussen die stad Kaapstad en die provinsie en dit rol nou uit by alle munisipaliteite oor hierdie provinsie om my leap-offisiere in plek te sit. Daai 1300 leap-offisiere om die hondeenheid in plek te sit in ons munisipaliteite in die platteland, om 'n nuwe eenheid te stig, wat nou net gestig is, 'n Violence Prevention Unit. Dis als deel van 'n plan wat ons in plek gesit het. And what happens when you put those things in place? You reduce the murder rate. And the only province in South Africa where the murder rate is plateauing or coming down is in die Weskaap. Die enigste plek. In the rest of South Africa, the murder rate is climbing at double-digit figures every single year. Maar daar's 'n plan in die Weskaap. Ons het die plan in plek gesit. Ons is besig om my plan uit te oefen, and that's how the difference is made. Energy. You heard energy, you saw energy on the video. This province put an energy council in place. Bring die slimste mense wat jy kan by mekaar en sit 'n plan in plek. A safety plan, now an energy plan, you got a jobs plan. This province puts plans in place. We work on those plans, and when you work on those plans, wat gebeur? Dit raak beter. Nie steel die geld, los die plan, gaan doen iets anders. Kyk na yourself. Not in this province. We don't do that. And so you've seen systems where Millions of rand are given to our municipalities and our mayors that are sitting here today take that money and they make sure they put generators in place to keep the water flowing, to keep the sewerage flowing. We put plans in place to reduce the levels of load shedding because last year in our country, it was the worst year for load shedding in the history of our country, the worst year ever, and the worst in 15 years. But in this province, we have a plan. The plan is beginning to work. Already in the city of Cape Town, already 2 levels of load shedding better than anywhere else in South Africa. As jy met die mense praat, ja, gee vir hulle 'n ander klap. As jy met die mense praat, wie familie het in ander provinsies, dan sê hulle, ag nee, load shedding weer. En hulle sê, nee, maar ons is besig om TV te kyk, ons is besig om te kook. Maar waar is julle? Nee, ons is in die Kaap. Die mense in die res van die land weet wat hier aangaan. Dis hoekom 150,000 mense elke jaar 'n besluit maak om hiernatoe te kom van ander provinsies, want dit werk nie daar nie. En waar werk dit? Hier werk dit. In die Wes-Kaap, waar dit blou is. Waar dit lekker is. In ons skole, uit die laaste 7 jaar, 6 van daai 7 jaar, het hierdie provinsie die top matrikulante gekry in die hele land. The top matriculants in South Africa, the last 6 years out of the last 7. In this province, when we measure our learners in their competency scores, the global literacy test, not the Western Cape literacy test, of die Suid-Afrikaanse literacy test, the global literacy test, it is in this province that our learners get better every single year, not like the rest of South Africa. We also know that more and more people coming here, we've got to create more classrooms, and we've got to build faster. And it's in this province that we can build a school for 500 learners, not in 3 years, not in 2 years, but in 65 days. It's in our hospitals and our clinics where the Department of Health and Wellness, want ons moet sorg dat ons mense in die provinsie, we must make sure that the citizens of this province are well and healthy. Yes. And it happens in our hospitals. It's where we invest, where our doctors and nurses, those frontline service citizens in our province, where they make the difference. I do visits whether you're in Tygerberg or Mitchell's Plain or Khayelitsha Hospital or the George or Knysna Hospital. Even in Knysna, where the municipality is totally failing, because medicine is our responsibility, because health is our responsibility, this minister makes sure that that hospital works. Despite the failing municipality, we can still give good health care because it's run by the Democratic Alliance. This blow. I was at the Friedenberg Hospital this last week. Wow, jy kan net trots voel om in so 'n hospitaal in te stap. Such an amazing facility. Our clinics. Think of the Red Cross Children's Hospital. Just think of that hospital. Not just the Western Cape proud of that hospital, not just South Africa. Africa is proud of that hospital. Think of the Mowbray Maternity Clinic, where so many future DA voters are born every single year. And so at that point, I want to say to the frontline workers of this province, die kiesers het besluit in 2009, die kiesers het besluit in 2014, die kiesers het besluit in 2019, en die kiesers moet nou weer besluit in 2024, om het blou te maak in die Weskaap, om het blou te hou in die Weskaap, om die DA die kans te gee. But in a government, it's one thing. It's about setting the vision and showing where you're going. Sit die planne in plek. Maar ek wil eers begin om dankie te sê. Ek wil eers begin om dankie te sê vir daai verpleegsters, vir daai dokters. I want to say thank you to those firemen and women. I want to say thank you to those traffic officials and those teachers and principals. I want to say thank you to the emergency medical services. I want to say thank you to the social workers. Because those 90,000 people that work for the Western Cape government, work for you every single day, is what actually makes the difference in our government. And so we all owe them a huge debt of gratitude to say thank you very much for what you do every single day for the citizens of this province. So, dames en here, the one thing that we do differently in the Western Cape, where we govern for the people, with the people. Ons regeer vir die mense, saam met die mense. We don't sit up there in our fancy ivory towers. Ons as DA, die DA span wat die mense gekies het daai tyd. Ons is op die straat. Ons is, soos Tersia sê, op het. Ons is daar binne saam met die mense. Ons is daar saam met ons mense wat elke dag en nag werk vir u. Vir u, die mense van die Weskaap. And today, we want to say to you that as a party with a vision and as a party with a track record, daar is nie ander partye met daai track record in ons land nie. Just imagine the track record of the ANC. Kan nie eens 'n sassa grant uitkry nie. 'n Poskantoor laat loop. Poskantore maak toe oral. Kan nie die ligte aanhou nie. Kan nie die treine laat loop nie. Polisieering raak erge onder hulle bestuur. It is unacceptable. They have got a shocking track record. Maar ons, in hierdie provinsie, we have got a track record wat skrik vir niks. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is with that track record that we say, this is what we did when you lent us your vote. When you lent us your vote, this is what we did with it. And we want to say to you, lend us your vote again. Give us your vote again now in 2024, on the 29th of May. And we'll take our track record, and we'll take our vision, and we'll take our manifesto, which is our promise of more. Ons maak 'n belofte hier, want daai belofte is, hier's ons manifest, en dit is 'n belofte vir meer. Want daai 80% van alle werksgeleenthede in ons land is nie genoeg nie. Daar's nog as ons straat stap, daar's nog van ons kinders wat nog nie werk het nie. And we have to make sure that we get jobs for every one of them. We have got citizens that need healthcare and education, that need economic growth, that need energy and electricity, and that's what a manifesto is. And today, we remember the track record. Ons dink aan daai goedes wat ons goed gedoen het, maar ons besef daar's nog baie meer om te doen. And there is no doubt that the party that can do it, the party has shown its ability to do it. There's only one of them in South Africa, and that is the Democratic Alliance. So vorentoe, dames en here, we in our manifesto make pledges for the next 5 years. We will continue to work on our ability to create an environment that creates more jobs. We will continue to grow that 80%, 78.9%. We'll continue to grow that number. We'll continue to reduce the 20% unemployment rate. And our pledge to you, the citizens of the Western Cape, that in the next 5 years, we will create another 800,000 jobs in this province. Our pledge to you is that we will continue to cut red tape. Ons sal nog daai rompslomp sny. Ons sal die betroubaarheid hou van ons provinsie. We will grow the confidence of business in our province. We will promote tourism. We will promote agriculture. We will promote the modern new tech economy. We will continue to make sure that investment happens, jobs are created, hundreds of jobs every single day across this province, so that we continue to become the province with the most number of jobs created in the next 5 years and the lowest unemployment rate in South Africa. Ons tweede belofte, of ons tweede pledge, is weer op veiligheid. Because if we're not safe, how can we build a better society? As dit nie veilig is, as ons kinders moet huiswerk doen onder die kombuistafel, want dis waar dit veilig is, van die bullets wat rondgaan. It's unacceptable, and we will bring about that change. We will continue with our LEAP program and our LEAP officers on the ground deployed to those hotspot areas, because the police can't do it, we will do it, and we will continue to show that where we do it, we make a difference and we reduce the number of murders. We will continue with that work. We will continue with our K9 operations across the province, our safety units. We will take violence prevention now to the next level. Because what must happen in violence prevention? Those young boys that leave school and end up in the gangs, ons gaan dit stop. We have to create opportunities for our youth, for our young people. We get to them through violence prevention before they become gangsters. They must become the entrepreneurs of the future. We will continue rolling out more and more technology. Technologie. Jy het gesien op die video, shot spotter, drones and eye in the sky, body cameras, computer technology that enables you to predict crime. Technology like in our health department that shows us where those hotspots are, not because of police, but because we know where the ambulance collects your son. We know what time that ambulance picks up your son and what happened to your son. It was a shooting or a stabbing. And we know where those streets become more and more crime-ridden. That becomes the hotspot, and that's where we deploy. 27,000 arrests from those LEAP officers. We're going to push for more and more arrests. 550 firearms taken off the street. We're going to push for more firearms off the street. Every time a gun is taken off the street, you save lives. We will continue to make sure we build a safer and safer province. We will build on the plan that we've built already on saving energy, on making sure that we're mitigating levels of load shedding, and making sure that we target in the next 5 years 4 levels of load shedding and start the journey to end load shedding altogether in this province. Ons wil nie meer load shedding in ons provinsie hê nie. Al klaar, 'n 5,700 megawatt plan, 2,000 megawatt van daai al klaar in die pipeline, meer as 100 maatskappye besig daarmee. Ons munisipaliteite, ons vennote. It's unbelievable what our municipalities are doing in fighting and making sure that we are mitigating risk on energy. The big municipalities are where the tenders are. The small municipalities, the lead municipality, Hessequa, to be the first small municipality also to end load shedding. We will continue to make sure that we create our own energy through private sector investment in this province that takes that load shedding away for good. Wat ons gaan ook doen, ons 4de pledge, wat ons gaan ook doen, waar die ANC en nasionaal nie vir ons mense die diens gee, gaan ons daai mag wegvat. Ons het al klaar begin met die Powers Bill, om wetgewing te skryf, om te sê, as jy nie veiligheid kan vir ons mense gee nie, ons wil daai polisie magte hê. As ons hawe nie werk nie, wil ons daai magte hê. As die spoorlyn nie werk nie, wil ons daai magte hê. We already know that we want policing powers because we show through the LEAP plan and the violence prevention plan that just with a few officers, we can make a big difference. Imagine if we ran all of the officers and all of the management of police in the province, what kind of difference there would be. The city of Cape Town has already done a study on if we get rail run in this province, as ons die spoorlyne en die mag kry oor die spoorlyne, die verskil onmiddellik gaan wees nog 51,000 werksgeleenthede. 11 miljard rand ekstra in ons ekonomie in. En amper 1 miljard rand binne in die sakke van ons mense in hulle huise. Want jou koste van vervoer kom af. We know if the harbour starts to work, it will increase our GDP growth by 5.6 billion over the next 5 years, 20,000 more jobs, 2.1 billion rand more in salaries and wages, and 1.6 billion rand to tax. Ons gaan die mag vat. Fifth, onderwys. A plan to provide better education for every learner. Our pledge is to build more schools faster and to deliver quality education for everyone. Quality education for everyone. Soos ons gesê het, ons kan in 65 dae 'n skool van 500 leerders bou. Dit is op 'n huidige skoolperseel. We've budgeted this year 30.85 billion rand, so the year ahead, more money in education than we've ever budgeted before. Ons het gewys dat in die laaste 5 jaar het ons 2217 nuwe klaskamers gebou, 35 nuwe skole, 15 replacement schools, dis 'n ou skool, plankie skool wat ons weggevat het en 'n nuwe skool in plek gesit het. In actual fact, 323 schools since 2019. We pledge to build 6 more schools in the coming year, another 300 classrooms in the coming year. We want to continue to build best practice schools. Ek dink aan Mitchells Plain as ek dink aan van die beste skole in ons provinsie. I think about Spine Road. Hoor. Do you know that Spine Road now in Mitchells Plain is one of the top 20 schools in our province? Ek dink aan COSAT in Khayelitsha. COSAT, their pass rate is now 99%. Dis wat ons gaan bou oor die hele provinsie wanneer dit kom by onderwys. Gesondheid. We will keep delivering a world-class public health service. We will keep making sure that we have wellness in our society. We will keep innovating. Ons het gewys in die pandemie, ons kan 'n hospitaal bou in 6 weke. Die grootste hospitaal in die hele Afrika kontinent het ons dit gewys. Ons gebruik daai kennis nou om ander dinge te doen in die stelsel. We will keep on with our award-winning tech systems like Hector's that measures trauma in our hospitals. We will keep on with our award-winning tracking system that starts to track our citizens in healthcare across the whole province. This province invested in surgical robotics. Dis wanneer nie 'n dokter nie, maar 'n masjien doen daai operasie. Ons het al klaar daai in plek in hierdie provinsie. The only public health hospitals with robotic surgery on the whole African continent, not in South Africa, on the whole African continent, are in this province. Already those robotic surgeries, 391 of them completed in Tygerberg and 192 in Groote Schuur. And now tech is now connecting us to George Hospital. We keep on pushing those boundaries, getting better and better. Our 7th pledge, to run a clean, innovative government that prioritizes the most needy in our society. Inequality in the Western Cape is still too high. Even though our Gini coefficient is by far the lowest Gini coefficient in South Africa. In the last 5 years, the Gini coefficient, dis daai maatstaf wat wys die verskil tussen ryk en arm. In ons land, Daai lyn gaan net reguit aan, dit verander nie. In die Weskaap, jaar dan jaar, dit kom af, dit raak beter. Daai gaping tussen arm en ryk word verminder. Hoekom? Because more and more people get jobs, more and more people get healthcare and education. We will continue with that. How we spend our money, 75% of our budget gets spent on making sure that we're reducing that gap. Ons maak seker dat dit raak beter vir almal in ons provinsie. If you think about our schools, our clinics, our roads, ons het nog nie baie gepraat oor ons paaie nie. Mense het al klaar verby daai, maar daar is nie slaggate in ons paaie nie. And the only time you really realize it is when John stands here and tells us, or when you visit another province, or when one of those family members come from another province and visit you. Hulle kom hiernatoe en dan spot hulle met jou. Hulle sê ons gaan rondry en ons gaan 'n pothol uitsoek. Dan kom hulle terug daai aand sê, ja, maar ons het dit gekry nie. That's what we're going to keep on doing. We're going to keep on food gardens. 5,000 food gardens delivered already. We're going to make sure that we have good quality health care through our food gardens at our schools. We give 500,000 learners every single day a meal or two at our schools. Ons gaan aan met daai. Ons gaan aan met jeugprogramme. Ek dink aan Chrysalis, daai jong laities wat ons wil weghou van bendes af. Chrysalis. Yebones, thousands of young people on our Yebones program. Our pay intern program, thousands every year, giving young people an opportunity in a workspace. After that, almost all of them say to me, we're going to go and study more. Ek het nou besluit wat ek wil doen. Ek wil nou in tesorie werk, ek wil nou in gesondheid werk, ek wil nou in ons EMS of in ons brandstasie werk. Ek wil by ons our climate change span werk. We will continue with our audit outcomes. This province, in the last audit outcomes from the Auditor General, received the best audit outcomes that we have ever received. Every single entity, every single department have got unqualified audits. Dis die fundament waarop jy bou. We will keep leading with our values. We will keep leading with innovation. Hierdie regering, die enigste regering in die wêreld wat elke eerste donderdag hulle deure oopmaak met al die kabinetslede, met al die hoofde van departement, met die munisipaliteite, burgemeesters en MyCo members, en mense kan net instap. Daar is nie 'n ander regering in die wêreld wat sê as jy niks kan van ons uitkry in 30 dae, stap in. Kom praat. Bring jou klag. Bring jou idee. Ons gaan luister. We will continue to work at the best place to work in the world competition. Ons regering is in daai kompetisie ingeskryf. The best place to work in the world competition. We will keep on going with that. So dames en here, daar is ons 7 pledges. Those are our 7 pledges to continue delivering more. To take our track record on our vision and continue to build on that to deliver more. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that this province will continue leading the way in every single aspect of service delivery to the citizens of our province. We will keep focusing on jobs and growing the economy. We will keep reducing crime. We will keep cutting load shedding. We will keep building schools. We will keep increasing healthcare and wellness. We will put people before politicians. Luister dan. Ons gaan ons mense voorsit en nie die politici nie. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to not only thank those frontline workers in our government that make sure that this province is the best province in South Africa. I want to thank my family. There's my wife, Tracy. Thank you, Tracy. And my family for giving me the time to do what I do. I want to thank everyone in the DA team that the voters elected to be part of delivering what we can celebrate today. I want to thank everyone, Tertius, you and your family. Every one of you ministers, mayors, members of parliament, councillors, those people, thank you. And for you, I want you to thank your families. I want to thank your families. Dan wil ek sê, dankie vir julle. Ons aktiviste, ons blouspan. Ek sê vir julle en julle families, baie, baie, baie dankie. Dankie vir die opoffering. Dankie vir die tyd. Dankie vir die leiding. Dankie vir die aande in die straatstap. Dankie vir die telefoonoproep en sê, moenie worry nie, ons sal dit uitsort. Dankie vir daai. Elkeen van julle en elkeen van julle families. Baie, baie, baie dankie. Laastens wil ek vir die kiesers van die Weskaap sê, dankie vir jou stem 5 jaar terug. Dankie. Joune ook. Dankie. Dankie dat jy vir ons jou stem geleen het. Ek vra weer, geef ons weer daai kans om ons visie, ons track record te vat en ons 7 pledges om te sê, ons gaan nog aanwerk, ons gaan naar voortwerk, ons sal nog aangaan met 'n verskil maak. We will continue to make the biggest difference we can, but we can only do it with your support and your vote. Thank you for your vote in the last 5 years, but you must make sure that you go out and vote on the 29th of May to give us that job once again. Those of you that are walking the streets, in die laaste 5 jaar, 'n paar 100,000 mense het van ander provinsies hiernatoe gekom. Reg? Our job is to say to them, we know why you left those ANC municipalities and those ANC provinces. We know why you left. Dit gaan ons sleg daar. And we know why you came here. Maar jy kan nie net hier kom en niks doen nie. Jy moet hier kom en stem. So just like we will continue to vote blue, vote DA in this province, they must also vote DA in this province, because otherwise, what John said is going to become a reality. So our pledge to you, the citizens of the Western Cape, is that we will continue to work like we've worked in the previous 5 years. We will continue to make sure that the Western Cape is a province that works. We will continue to do more, but we can only do it if we vote DA. Ons kan dit net doen as ons DA stem. So ladies and gentlemen of the Western Cape, citizens of the Western Cape, ons moet dit blou. Ons moet dit blou. Ons moet dit blou. Ons het dit. Dankie. Ek sê, vote DA to keep the Western Cape DA. Vote DA to keep the Western Cape DA. Vote DA to keep the Western Cape